I will leave a link down below of a picture of what a bladder with IC looks like versus one that is a normal bladder, so that you have an idea of what I'm going through. Hey guys, I just wanted to quickly talk about one of the vlogs for the playlist that I have added called IC. IC is short for Interstitial Cystitis. It's basically inflammation of the bladder lining or the bladder wall. It is painful. I have dealt with this for the last 13 years and it's been really hard. I have days where I feel like I can't do anything at all, where I feel like I'm bedridden. It's very painful. Sometimes it's painful to start or stop urinating. Basically, IC is bleeding from little tiny sores in the bladder wall, and they have no idea what causes it, and they have no known cure for it. It just happens to some people, and in the beginning, people actually thought this was in women's head because it mostly affects women. 10% of cases are men. So women, it's a little rougher, and I do have a condition called pelvic floor dysfunction that kind of is a co-condition. Plus I have like PCOS and fibromyalgia, and they want to check me for endo, and I'm like, they're going to want to do a surgery, and my insurance is not going to pay for anything, I guarantee it, until they go in and they find something there. But what happens if they go in and they don't find anything? It seems like I will be stuck with the bill, so that doesn't really make much sense. I have an InterStim implant in my back right hip area that is for frequent urination, and it does help me from having to go as much as I used to. It's probably about a 50% change, which at that point I would have taken a 20% change. I've had this now for about 5 years. I just keep waiting for it to like run out because I know I'm gonna have to get, another battery put in at some point. But it is debilitating, and it's scary that doctors used to think that this was in just our heads. It blows my mind. That continued for a long time until some doctor got the bright idea to go inside the bladder and to look at the bladder wall, and when they did that, they went, oh, that looks pretty painful. Maybe they're not crazy. But yet the medical world today is still accepting this. I mean, my best friend is a nurse, and I remember when she was in nursing school, in her book it labeled IC as like a mental thing, and I was like, I have no idea how old that book is, but luckily she stood up for it and stood in class and explained to them that she had a friend that has it, and she talks to me regularly, so she knows. I mean, she's my best friend. We've been best friends since I was 10, so forever it feels like. It's a condition that I have to live with. Sometimes it's really hard to do certain things. I'm in pain most of the time, so I get distracted easily, and I know that that is probably really irritating to my boyfriend more than anybody. It's irritating to me because I will have like short-term memory because I'm thinking about how much I'm hurting. The pain runs from hip bone to hip bone, and it hurts focused in the middle center, but it's kind of like an inner tube of pain. Like if you could just wrap an inner tube around you, like right in that perfect spot, that is exactly where it hurts, because I'm okay with walking and stuff, but standing still is really bad. It just causes extra weight. It's not good, and it's not good for me. So I try to not just stand still and something. Like if I know if I've got to go somewhere and just stand, it's not a good idea. If I know somewhere I gotta go doesn't have padded seats, I have to take a pillow, because if I don't, I will start hurting, and it will cause severe pain later on, especially because of the pelvic floor dysfunction. Everything's just so tight and just crazy down there. So I can get in pain really easily. I take so many medications a day, it's not even funny. Only one of them is a narcotic, and I only take it when I need it, and I try to take it as little as I can, which means I probably suffer more than I should, but they don't give me a lot of pain medicine, and I understand why, but I'm not an addict. And I also told them that at the time I don't want more, even though I think I could probably use more. I don't want more because I wanted to be able to keep working. I don't want to have to work my way up in pain medicine and then just become addicted to this stuff, because that's not what I'm for. Like, I wish they could just come up with some like miracle shot that would just make me pain-free and not, mess my brain up like other drugs do. It's unfortunate. It is really painful. It is really hard. The only thing to compare it to is if you have ever had a UTI, it is like living with a UTI for 15 years and will continue for the rest of my life. I've dealt with this, like I said, 12, 13 years. I've had it since I was 22 and I'm 34 now. So it's crazy. I never even thought I would make it this far. I honestly thought that I would probably commit suicide after the first 5 years. I had already told myself if I'm struggling to the point where I can't even cope anymore, living wasn't worth it. Luckily, I was able to get some medical help, and it did help, and somehow, 13 years later, here I am, and I'm still magically living, and I didn't think I would be alive after the 5th year. It's really hard. It's hard mentally. It's hard on me physically. It's a big issue, and it's something that's not talked about often enough. Some people call the, painful bladder syndrome. I mean, you can pee up to 60 plus times a day with this condition. At my worst, I was waking up 9 times a night to go pee, and the doctor told me that I was waking up to go pee as equivalent to someone who was 9 months pregnant and ready to pop, which is clearly not normal. So, of course, they ended up looking at my bladder, and, they fill it, and it has got inflammation. Because it is as painful as it looks. It's probably more painful than it looks. I'm in pain right now, but I can't act like it. What's the point? What's the point in acting like it? There is no point at all. No point. I mean, it's like I said, it's more distracting than anything. When it gets really bad, it's just depressing. It's hard. It causes anxiety. It causes stress for me. I worry about Medicaid and Medicare or whatever the heck I'm on. And now that I'm in Kentucky, I am going to have to probably work more because of the whole medical stuff now. So I am just kind of I feel like I've been on this plateau for about 6-7 years, and it's just not going up, and it's just for about 5 years, and it's not really, it was going up, but then it started plateauing, and I just feel like it's not really going up anymore, and it hasn't been for a while. So I just wanted to talk about it because it's an invisible condition. When you look at me, I look perfectly healthy and I look perfectly normal, but what you don't see is a debilitating condition on the inside, and you have to give people a bit more credit if you're out and someone is a little bit snippy with you, or somebody you're working with is not in a great mood. You just never know what they're going through at the time, and most people, if they're like me, you don't just go, oh, I have a bladder condition, like out of nowhere, unless someone just specifically asks, like, are you okay? Like, and then I'm like, oh, okay. But I don't just go out of my way to just say that. So it wouldn't even, I don't even know that it would help or do anything anyway. So I just wanted to give some info to basically talk about it, because I haven't since I had my old channel, and I only made a couple of videos about it. I will probably make a whole separate video about Interstim and all that stuff, because I have had it now for years, and I have videos of me right after I had it. So I went ahead and added them to the playlist, and I'm going to add this and now all my new ones to it, because I would like to try to vlog on days where I'm feeling very bad. Even though I'm not going to want to, there are times where I want it to be real, and I need people to see what it is that someone with this condition can go through. And it's rough. It's, like I said, at one point, the only answer for me was suicide. And so far, I have been able to keep all the symptoms at least at a level that I can handle it. But do I worry about the day that I can't handle it? Yes, I do, and I'm sure it will come, and I hope not. I'm hoping that they have a cure before I die. I hope they have one tomorrow. Jeez, that'd be amazing, but that's just not how it works. So they've only been studying this for a few decades anyway. This is all so new to doctors now that they realize there is actually something wrong with the bladder, and it's not in our freaking heads. it's just frustrating because people show awareness for tons of different cancers and, like autism and stuff. And I feel like everybody's aware of that. Like, show your support, yeah, but I feel like everybody is aware of that. Not everybody is aware of this condition. Not everybody is going to know that if their daughter is having pain while she's urinating and there's no bacteria in the urine and she's wondering, it's not a UTI, there's no bacteria, how are you even going to begin to think of what it could be if you're not educated about it? So it's more about educating people so that they aren't ignorant to it, because I don't expect them to just know every condition on the planet. That's just not how it works. So that's just not how it works. I am totally going to be open with it. I am going to talk about any type of procedure or anything I've had done. I will make another video here soon about some of the procedures I've already had done and what helped and what didn't and what made me worse, because one of them made me much worse. I regret doing one of them really badly. So I will absolutely talk about that. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything about the InterStim, anything about interstitial cystitis, or any of the other conditions, pelvic floor dysfunction, PCOS, endo, fibromyalgia, these are all things that my body is dealing with. And notice all of those things are in the exact same general area. So I'm just in pain every freaking day. I'm in pain right now, but I have to grin and bear it, because why should I just sit here and bury my head and cry in my hands every day? Because that's all I would do if that's how I took all of this. So thank you guys for watching, and I will have another update soon. Bye guys.